Okay, guys, what is up? It's Friday. I am going to show you guys how to make cakey and fudgy brownies from scratch. And
Hi guys.
oh, you want to say hi? All right, hold on. Ollie wants to say hi first.
I'm eating pizza.
Yeah, Ollie's having his lunch, right?
Yeah, from Pizza Hut.
No, Domino's.
Domino's.
You can't even say that. You say Domino's.
Domino's.
Yeah, and you also took a spill yesterday. What happened to your foot? You fell in the bathroom, right?
Yeah, because.
But it's feeling better, right?
Because I was throwing my bath toy and it landed outside.
Yeah, you slipped on some water. All right. So I'm going to show you my setup. Oh my gosh, she has a lot of energy. I'm going to show you my setup, what you're going to need, and I'm going to also talk a little bit about why we're doing what we're doing, okay? So, first things first, wash your hands. And I'm going to wash my hands with you guys, okay? You are going to need to do it with warm water. You don't want it too hot. You don't want your skin to be scalding, but you do want to use some soap and warm water and wash every crack. You got to wash it really well. Look, see? It's going to get in between my fingers. I'm going to even go up to my arm a little bit. Do it like that. Make sure it's really, really well washed because we do not want to make anybody sick or have germs or anything like that, especially now. So first step, wash your hands. Make sure you do a thorough job. Now, I think Ollie just wants to eat his lunch, which is fine. If he decides he wants to help me, he can help me. But, okay, we got that done. Second step is preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Okay, that's the easiest thing you can do, and I can explain why. By preheating it first, by the time you gather and prep all of your ingredients, your dish is going to be ready to go into the oven. You don't have to wait for an additional preheat. As a side note, when I do cookies and brownies and things like that, I just do the preheat first and then I throw it in as soon as it's done, preheating and mixing and all that. With pizza, I actually first preheat my oven to as high as it can go. I have an electric oven. It goes to 550 degrees. And I do it for minimum an hour to make sure my oven's hot.
Domino's pizza.
Okay. So obviously this is not pizza, so once it hits 350 and the oven beeps, it's good to put in the oven. Okay, so there is that. Alright, as far as the ingredients, you're going to need 4 large eggs. I can't have eggs. I'm going to do it without the eggs. I'm going to do the egg replacer, as I normally do. You are going to need, if you want, cocoa powder, 1 1/4 cups or 106 grams of cocoa powder. It says here double Dutch chocolate, but you don't need that. You can just use unsweetened Hershey's cocoa powder or another brand of cocoa powder. You are going to need 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, not baking soda, totally different things. Even though they sound the same, yes, they both do cause your goods to rise, but they kind of work a little bit differently, so you don't want to mess that up. If you have it, espresso powder, and I'll tell you why. This calls for 1 teaspoon espresso powder. I do not drink coffee, so I'm going to leave that out. But espresso powder enhances the flavor of chocolate and chocolate goods. So that's an interesting fact. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1 cup of unsalted butter. So that's going to be 8 ounces, or if you're using sticks, it's going to be 2 sticks of butter. Now, my butter is a little different. It is more yellow than normal butter. That is because I'm using Kerrygold. I've had the best results using Kerrygold butter because it is higher fat. So the USDA says butter has to have a minimum percentage of fat. Different brands have different amounts of fat, believe it or not. Kerrygold is probably one of the biggest brands that has the most fat that you can get, and it's easily accessible. There are other European style butters with slightly more butter fat in it, but they're not as easily found. So Kerrygold, that's what I use. I mean, you could use Land O'Lakes, you could use whatever. It'll work, but my personal preference is Kerrygold butter. Also, it's a little bit more yellow than normal because they feed their cows organic grass or something like that. So it has a little added vitamin D, which is actually pretty good because you need vitamin D. You get it from the sunshine and you get it from milk. You also can get it from butter. Okay, you're going to need 2 1/4 cups of granulated sugar, or if you're me and you're weighing out, 447 grams. You're going to need 1 1/2 cups all-purpose flour, or if you're me, 177 grams. And then you're going to need 2 cups of chocolate chips. Now, 2 cups of chocolate chips, let me see. Let me get this. Is equal to, what is this? Hold on, I have the bag of chocolate chips right here. If you don't want to weigh out it is 12 ounces.
Guys,
so you can just get a 12-ounce bag of chocolate chips.
Right, have a tablet.
Yeah, you do. And then that's that. So if you don't want the chocolate chips, that's fine. You could substitute it with peanut butter chips. I'm actually going to show you guys what I picked up, what I thought was interesting.
What?
I'll show you what I found.
What?
I have peanut butter chips, which I'm actually going to save. I am going to use chocolate chips for this one. And I found, Ollie, look what I found. Reese's Baking Cups and Reese's Peanut Butter Candy. I did not know this was a thing, but apparently it is. So I'm going to actually try that in cookies one day. Also, if you want to, make Rocky Road brownies, you would just add marshmallows and other stuff. But for now, we're going to just do the chocolate brownies. Okay, so again, first step is to preheat the oven, after you wash your hands, of course. Preheat the oven to 350 degrees. Second thing would be to gather all of your ingredients. So, in one bowl I have the sugar, yes. One bowl I have the chocolate chips. This is my butter over here. This is my flour. And then for this, I combined the cocoa powder, baking powder, and I combined my egg replacer. If you have the eggs, you just crack them into the bowl. You don't add that, but because I'm allergic, that's what I did. To make this process a little easier. Then you're going to take a 9x13 baking dish. Yeah, it's shiny. Woo! And spray it with nonstick cooking spray. So the first step is, to make this thing, is to crack 4 large eggs. Then you're going to add the cocoa powder, the salt, the baking powder, and espresso powder, and the vanilla. So because I'm not doing the eggs, I'm just going to combine the egg replacer, the cocoa, the baking powder, and the salt. So I'm also not doing the espresso powder. And you're going to use your attachment, yeah, and a little bit spills out. That's okay. I do believe these things come with or you could buy a, whatchamacallit, like a splash guard, which I'm going to look into actually, because believe it or not, you can make butter.
Guys, whenever you put something in, flour, it just pushes it into the...
Yeah, you can make butter with your KitchenAid, and I've done that before.
It makes it slow, right?
Yeah, so maybe I'll do that as an activity one day. To make butter, you would just take heavy cream, and you would put it in the KitchenAid mixer. You would use the whisk attachment, I believe, and you just let it go for like 10 or 15 minutes or whatever, as high as you can. That's when it might splatter, which is when the splash guard would be a good idea. But anyway, so crack your eggs, put your cocoa powder, your salt, baking powder, espresso in the mixer, and the vanilla. So I got my vanilla extract here, right here. Again, that is going to be 1 tablespoon. And like I said, you can make your own vanilla extract at home by taking vodka, a bottle of vodka, and some vanilla beans, and just leaving it in the refrigerator for a couple of weeks, and voila, vanilla extract. And honestly, it comes out to be cheaper. Now, I do actually have some in the fridge. The reason why I'm not using that is because I don't want to break anything. And I'm pretty clumsy. So a little bottle for me, just easier to do for this demo. Okay, now, because I used an egg replacer, I have to replace some of the liquid that you would get from an egg with water. That's what mine calls for, and I've used it before, so I know that's how it works. So just give me 1 sec. And then I have to add another 5, 6 for me. My egg replacer is 1 1/2 teaspoons of the powder per egg to 2 tablespoons of this. So I'm gonna have to do a couple more. Okay, there we go. Now we're gonna mix it for 1 minute. So let's see how it goes. Now, why would you want to add eggs to a recipe? Easy. Eggs act as a binder so your cake or brownie or cookie won't fall apart. It adds some fat to it. It helps things rise, believe it or not, because think about a souffle. It's mostly eggs or egg whites or whatever. Hold on, let me set my timer. My mixture's gonna look a little different. What else does it do? Oh, and it keeps your cake moist. So, no one wants a dry cake. I'm sorry. That's just gross. So, eggs are usually a good idea. Unless you're me and you're allergic. Now, my mixture's gonna look a little different because I don't have the eggs. So, it's gonna be more dry. But that's okay. And if it ends up being a little more dry, I can always fix it with a little more water. So, we'll see what this gets us. Now, when you're doing it with eggs, you want to put it on a low speed, lowest. Mine has something called the stir setting, which is what I always set it to, unless it absolutely says that I have to make it really strong, which is what I would do if I was making butter with this thing. I would set it to like 10. It's crazy. But again, the butter thing is a little messy if you don't have a splash guard, but we'll see. Okay, let's remove this. Alrighty, tidy. Got that going. Alright, it's done. So it's mixed for a minute. Alright, second step is going to be to melt all your butter in a saucepan. I'm using a cast iron pot. It's my favorite tool for cooking because it's heavy, but I don't know, I feel like it does a really good job. I should make garlic knots in my cast iron pot last week. It was really good. Alright, so we are going to melt this over very, very, very low heat, and I am going to explain why. So this is going to have to melt, and if this is really hot, and we add this to the bowl with the eggs in it, it's going to scramble your eggs. And if you've watched any kind of reality cooking show, you'll see that people do it all the time. They scramble their stuff by accident, and I know that because I've been watching the Great British Baking Show, and that's happened. So we're gonna melt our butter. Now, why are we doing this instead of using softened butter? Tell you why. Because when we combine our sugar and our butter, it's gonna dissolve, and it's gonna make a nice, crispy, crackly, shiny crust on top, which is what we want to do. Like I said, this is a mix between both cakey and fudgy brownies. So we're doing things a little different, but it's going to be fun. So my butter's melting. I put it on low. Guys, it's going to take a little while.
This is what...
What do you want to show them?
This is
you want to show them your train? Hold on.
I'm going to show them.
I don't think they could see you.
This is how the Lego train must be when it's done.
Yeah, Oliver is building a Lego train, right?
I didn't use the same Legos.
And what did you use the instructions, or did you do it by instinct, by looking at the pictures?
I didn't read it or do the pictures.
You just did it by yourself?
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good.
It came out a bit wrong. It had a rectangle, and I tried to copy it out the structure. It didn't work.
Did it?
Yeah.
Good for you. Okay, so my butter's melting. It's going to take a couple of minutes, but like I said, you do not want this too hot. You just want it hot enough that it's melted. You don't want it to be boiling. If it's boiling, it's way too high. So I just put my burner on to low. Like I said, you don't want to scramble your eggs. That's going to be bad news.
I'm done with the pizza, the garlic nuts, and the pizza. Look.
Good job, Ollie. Here, I'll take that.
I see the garlic nut oil.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Mom.
It's going to take a couple more minutes.
Guess what? My leg still hurts.
Your foot? Does your
Yeah.
foot feel better?
I didn't use the pillow last night.
That's good, right?
I did not.
Is that good or bad?
I didn't want to.
I'm trying to talk to him. Oh, my goodness.
Mom,
Yes.
whenever I hold my leg like this, it feels better when I hold it like this.
All right.
Yeah.
So try not to walk on it too much. All right, I think about half the butter is melted. Like I said, this is going to be 8 ounces. Or 2 4-ounce sticks. I'm just going to chop this up a little bit. Make it melt. So for this, it won't matter if your butter is at room temp. You could just take this right out from the fridge or freezer, melt it in a saucepan. Ha ha ha.
I'm
What?
going to eat fast and I put it on your foot.
You're silly.
It's wet fun.
See what I'm doing?
And you make the chocolate chip cookies.
Nope. What am I making, Ollie?
I forgot.
Making brownies. Yeah, brownies are good. And it's nice because it's like cookies. You can just put in whatever you like. So, like I said, if you want to do peanut butter cookies, you could toss in the peanut butter chips instead of chocolate chips. Or you can actually add extra peanut butter to it. You could add Nutella. You can do all sorts of stuff. Barring any allergies. Alright, it's almost melted. It's like 3/4 of the way melted, which is what we want. Ollie, please. I'm trying to cook. You know, I'm surprised he's not even interested in this. You're not interested in this. How come? I think he likes to eat. I don't think he likes to bake. I think he gets impatient. But who doesn't like to eat, right?
Yeah, I do.
You do, I know, but you don't like to make the stuff. You just like the end products, right?
Yeah, because I like taste.
Okay, almost melted. Almost there. It's going to be a nice pool of butter. Like I said, you want to do this slowly. You do not want this to be too high.
Let me eat Penny test the smell of it.
Oh, yeah, the bunnies. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, they want to see
So
how...
Penny is our rabbit. She's the orange and white one. And if she smells food and you go over to her, she's going to think your finger is food. And she's going to nibble at it. But she doesn't bite. She just thinks it smells like Cheerios. So it must be Cheerios or whatever it is that you've been eating. Like Lucky Charms or something like that. Now when
Penny tests it.
when they were babies, I mean, I had them when they were... Not all of them. I had...
Pepper?
I had Penny and Pepper since they were little. The other one was a little bit older, between like 4 and 6 months when I got her. And I actually rescued her. She was being given up by somebody that my sister works with. So I took her. Why not, right?
Good sprinkle.
Anyway, so when they were babies, I used to feed them little bits of oats because oats were good for their fur. It would make their coat really nice. But as an adult, they don't need that stuff. All right, hold on. Almost done melting.
I'm going to eat it.
You can eat it. That's the whole point. Do you want to add sprinkles to it? We can do that. Yeah? Oh, you're eating the... Okay, almost done. Another 20 or 30 seconds. This will be good. And then we could add our sugar. And we're going to dissolve it because, again, by dissolving the sugar with the butter, you're going to get a nice crackly crust. Okay, I'm using the wooden spoon because I just don't want to scrape the cast iron pan because that would not be good. I don't want to ruin anything. And I've done that before where I burn stuff in pots. But this is good. By the way, if you do have a pot and you do what I've done, burn food in it, just take a little bit of apple cider vinegar, or any kind of vinegar actually, it doesn't have to be apple cider, and take some baking soda and then you boil it over a stove and the food will come right up. Save many pots doing that. Which is why I don't like to cook. I like to bake because I don't burn food when I bake. I only burn food when I cook sometimes. Alright. Got a nice pool of melted butter. Just going to make sure every little bit dissolves. And you could, by whisking it, you kind of just make sure everything is even. Thank you! There we go.
Do you want to watch your shows on TV?
I'm doing this.
No, after.
I don't know. We'll see what we're going to be doing after. Okay, all melted. Now we are going to add our sugar. So again, you're going to take 2 1/4 cups sugar, or if you measure it out, it's 447 grams. We're going to do that right now. Sugar's right here. Also, another cool tip. If you take sugar and you take vanilla beans or vanilla pods and you put it in together like vanilla sticks, you're going to get vanilla infused sugar. So that's a cool way to easily flavor something. What's up, Ollie?
Can I show them how my Lego tree?
No. I'm doing this. I'm going to show them. So we're going to stir. And this is going to dissolve. And yes, it's going to look a little clumpy due to the amount of sugar and the fact that sugar gets sticky when it's
This is
melted.
what my Lego tree looks like. That's the front.
So again, you're going to keep this on low. And you're just going to stir.
Mom?
Make sure this dissolves. Yes, buddy.
I moved the phone so they can see what my Lego tree looks like.
Okay. And I'll show you guys what that looks like. Hold on. I'm doing this, though.
It's
Very
so-
cool, though. I like it. You should be an engineer. What did you guys... Actually, that's a good question. What did you guys want to be when you guys were young?
Guys, I want to run this with Dad to go away some of my Lego tree parts.
Okay. It's almost dissolved. I'm going to keep stirring for another
I
minute
did it
or
at the
so,
same
and I'll show you
time.
what it looks like. I just want to be
Guys, I
very,
did it at the same time. Like,
very thorough.
This is
That's
what I
my
wanted.
job, to be thorough. I'm also a little OCD about certain things. Okay. It's gonna actually look a little bit like applesauce, which is good. I'm just gonna keep stirring just to make sure if you can. Or if, like grits or something. It's gonna look like that kind of consistency. And I'll show you guys too. Because it's a cast iron pan, I don't want to burn myself, so I'll just bring the camera over to the...
Guys, burgers feel like dogs because the sound of them.
That's true.
So
Dogs are a good burglar defense, right?
If you don't have a dog, put a dog sign up.
Or, you know what's really good?
What?
Video doorbells. That deters people as well.
No, if they cut the wire, if they cut the wires.
So again, this mixture should not be bubbling. It should just be very, very...
Hot.
Yeah, no, not that hot. I'll show you what it looks like. I don't know if you guys can see.
The butter started.
There you go. See, it looks like kind of a goopy, applesaucey kind of texture. I know this isn't the best. I have to get like a stand or something. I gotta make this more official or more professional, I should say. Okay, so
Mom is the best.
we are going to add this melted butter and the sugar that's been dissolving into our bowl with the cocoa powder, the salt, and all that wonderful stuff. I'm going to use one of these things because I don't want to burn myself. Actually, I'm going to use one of each just in case.
I haven't figured out the one way to make. Guys, I didn't know any secrets about Lego trays. I just tried to copy it and I knew I could do it, right?
Perfect. And then what you can do is you're going to take it and put it on a burner that is not hot, which I just did, and then you're going to turn the fire off. Okay, so continuing on. We're going to stir this so that it is smooth and it's blended. I'm going to put this down. Again, we are going to use more mixing attachment.
Mom, what about
Minimum of a minute,
to the
but
house
we'll
at
see how it
night?
looks. What, Ollie?
What about someone breaks into the house at night and they cut the wires?
Don't worry. It's okay. Again, you're going to put
Guess
this on low speed.
Guess what?
What?
Someone
Yeah, a minute should be about right.
Someone stole Dad's weed.
And I'll show you what it looks like after a minute and it's mixed.
Someone stole Dad's leaves weaker, right?
What's that?
Someone stole Dad's.
It's okay if it struggles a little bit. What are you doing?
Someone stole Dad's weed weaker.
Weed whacker! Yeah, when we first moved in, somebody took our weed whacker and that was really fun. But now we have a video doorbell, so, okay. It's a lot better.
No, what about is that light and the Google's not on?
It will be, don't worry.
What? No.
This is looking good. It's
So,
full of
with
things.
yours, Dad, and
Yeah,
me.
important thing is make sure your bowl's locked in. Alright, got 5 seconds. Oh boy. Alright. I'm going to show you what this looks like right now. It's going to look shiny. Hold on, I'm just going to try to get some of this off so it's not dripping. It's going to look shiny. It's going to look smooth. It's going to look blended. Okay. Ta-da. This is what it looks like. This is perfect. Kind of looks like thick cake batter, which is what we want. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, I am going to add in the flour. Yes, add in the flour. And then we're going to add in our chocolate chips. Again, if you want to change the flavor and you want the chocolate base, but you want another flavor in there, just place your chocolate chips. Oops, sorry, it's a little bit. There we go. Perfect. Then I'm just going to fill this. Put that in the sink. We're going to go along. Put in our chocolate chips. Ta-da. Little spillage is okay. I'm going to clean that up in a second anyway.
Guys, always make sure.
Again, we're going to mix it for like a minute. A minute's about the
Make sure you always get a gun into a bag, guys. Right?
No, Ollie. Don't worry about that stuff. Are you watching a video on safety or something?
No.
So what does it matter?
I just watched the video.
Yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. It's looking good. Do you want Ollie, do you want us to add sprinkles?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I put the sprinkles in?
Yeah, you can. Just give me 1 minute.
No, just don't let them watch them.
Do you want sprinkles though? Do you want me to add it?
Yeah.
Alright.
Sprinkle cookies!
Now, if it looks too dry, you can add a little bit of water, but it shouldn't be dry if you did the 4 eggs thing. About 15 seconds left.
Guys, rabbits are weird dudes.
Why are rabbits weird?
Yeah, because
Why?
when we try to get them, they just come in the same spot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, my bunnies know where we can't get them. Okay.
I've been doing that, too.
Yeah.
Rabbits, I just said, what if I get...
Maybe I'll add just a teeny bit of water. It's going to be thick, and that's what you want. But you don't want it too thick. It's going to look a little bit like...
But why? I'm letting you guys out.
Remember, I use the egg replacer, so I have to add like 6 tablespoons of water.
Let the
Okay,
rabbits
let's try
out?
this again. What?
It's okay if I let the rabbits out?
If you let the rabbits out, don't touch them and close your door and my door. Alright, this looks good. This looks good. It's perfect. Okay. And then Ollie wanted sprinkles, so we're going to add in sprinkles, because why not, right?
Yeah.
Sprinkles make everything more fun. I did that with cookies and stuff.
Yeah, rainbow cookies.
Rainbow. Oh, yeah. No, there's, yeah. Okay. Alright. I'm going to, before I add in, hold on, my sprinkles, I'll show you. Oh my gosh, sometimes this thing is really hard. You know what? I'll just bring the camera over because I can't. That's what your, can you even see? Bowl should look like. Hold on. Here we go. I'll show you guys now. This is what my mixture looks like. And this is correct. This is the way it should look. And then I'm just going to add in the sprinkles and mix again for a little bit. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, there was something called Cosmic Brownies, which is like a, I think, fudgy brownie with frosting. Now, that would be, I could never eat it because I'm allergic to it, but I wonder what it would taste like if I made it at home without the eggs. Okay, I'm just going to let it stir in for like 30 seconds to make sure the chips are blended. And I had some trivia about chocolate, but I'm going to save that for next time. Because this took a little longer than I wanted, but that's fine. No rush. Just a general tip, when you're mixing things in the KitchenAid mixer, 30 seconds to 1 minute, unless it's bread or something. If it's like cookies, bars, brownies, 30 seconds to a minute on the stir setting, which is the lowest setting, is usually adequate. But the recipe will also usually tell you how long to mix it for. Okay. Just want to make sure my brownies are good. I added my sprinkles. So Oliver's going to be happy. Alright, I'm going to take my 9x13 pan that I sprayed with Pam. I'm going to put this in. And I'm going to be like an animal. I just dump it. It's okay if some chocolate chips fall out of place. No biggie. You can always fix that. I mean, wash my hands, so. And then you're just going to press it into the pan. You could also use a spatula. Make sure it's nice and even. I can already tell you this is going to be shiny because looking at the top of it, which is what I like, but everyone has a different preference for this stuff. No, this is taking me back to being a kid, man. I love Murray's. They're so good. Okay. Oh my goodness, what is Ollie doing? Ollie? What are you yelling for? Now this is nice because this mixture is easily moldable. Some brownie recipes are thinner, some are not, but this looks like a good. Okay. You don't want to press too hard. You just want to press it enough so that the brownies. Ollie. They fill the edges. Okay. I'll show you what my mixture looks like now. Now, if you also want to put anything on top, that would be a good time to do it. But I'm pretty pleased with how this is, how this looks. Okay. Try to make it really even if I can. That's okay. People aren't perfect, right? All right. This is what my pan looks like right now. This is the whole thing. It's filled. It's got our sprinkles. Got everything. So now we are going to impatiently bake it. So we're going to stick this in for about 30 minutes. So this recipe says between 28 and 32. I always like to go in the middle ground and put it in. I'm going to do 30 minutes. And that is it. I'm going to set the timer. And 30 minutes from now, we're going to have some amazing, awesome brownies. I'm going to just wash my hands. They're really greasy. Of course, I'm going to have to do cleanup, but that's all right. Have a recipe for a 3-minute fudge using chocolate chips. Ollie, don't be rude. Evaporated milk and something else, and I want to try it out and see how it is. If it comes out good, I think we'll do that next week, or I don't know. I know I promised Mandy Rice Krispies. Maybe we could do 2 quick. Ollie, well, it's time to go anyway, I think.
What did you say?
Yeah, it's about time to already. Wow, that flew by. I can't wait. So yeah, that's it. That's our brownies. We're gonna take them. Now, when you take them out, you want them to cool completely. Don't ever cut stuff that's out of the oven. Like it'll fall apart. You want it to cool first, then cut it into whatever, I guess, squares, or you can even use like cookie cutters and stuff. Ollie! Shh. What do you want? Oh my gosh, he's got a good set of lungs on him. So that is it. We're gonna hopefully have some really yummy stuff. I'll see you guys on Tuesday. I hope everybody has an awesome weekend. I hope you guys do follow along. Even if you don't want to bake something right now, that's okay. You can just come back to the videos and check out the instructions. I try to be thorough. I try to explain everything. I got a lot of inspiration from Alton Brown because he had a show called Good Eats, and he would in his shows he would always explain the history of something, of food. Like every episode would be a different theme. So sometimes be chocolate. Sometimes it'd be bread. Sometimes it'd be fish or seafood or pasta or whatever. And he was pretty thorough about it, and I kind of like that. And he explained in a scientific way why things are, like, why do we use bread flour for bread versus all-purpose or what, stuff like that. So I always found that interesting. So I try to do a little bit of this and that without being too boring. So that's it. I hope you guys follow along, and I hope it comes out good. So see you Tuesday. Have a good weekend. Want to say goodbye?
What? I missed all of it.
Come, just say hi. Say goodbye real quick. No?
I want to.
All right. Bye.